Within 2 months of being there, I got pulled into a specialty unit, mixed up of a bunch of PT studs, physical fitness studs, and guys that had specialty training, whether it's shooting, scout swimmers, all kinds of stuff. They just kind of made this little all-star unit. I don't know how the hell I got picked for it, but I did. And we meshed really well. And within 3 months, we were off to Ramadi, Iraq. And at the time, it was the most dangerous city in the world for it, just period, for anybody. It was brutal.
How long before you arrived in Ramadi were there already troops there?
Oh, they had been there for a while. So Ramadi was the last big city that we had to take. So in order to get to Ramadi, you had to take Fallujah, and then you can get to Ramadi.
Okay.
There's some really good books out there on it too. I'm trying to think of the name of the one.
This was sorry, my ignorance for the whole history of it, but like this was after they got Saddam.
Yes.
Okay.
This was 05.
05. When did they get Saddam? Do you know?
That was it 04?
Was it? Okay, so it was close. I wasn't way off.
It was close. It might have been. I remember where I was. I was in an airport.
Yeah, I remember because I was mentioning you before. Kristen Beck, when she was on here, she had pictures sitting, like her and like her whole group. They took pictures of each other sitting in Saddam's throne. She must have been there a couple years earlier.
Yeah, I lived in one of his palaces while I was there too. One of his palace in Ramadi. We dropped a huge JDAM bomb through it, so the whole front of the thing was just blown up. But the rooms that we were staying in had like gold ceilings. And,
really?
Yeah, it was pretty.
And you
wild.
guys just took over the palace and lived in there. Yeah. That's really fucking cool.
Yep. Bunch of Marines living in a palace.
You guys, what was your guys' like mission when you were there? Like, what was your group's objectives, like your day-to-day objectives while you guys were in Iraq?
So we were doing patrols, presence patrols, but there was a really nasty area that the Army, because the Army was so stretched thin, and there was a nasty area in Ramadi that they asked us to take over. And so we were going in and hitting Ba'ath Party members, Saddam's Ba'ath Party members that were still hidden and undercover, and then the FBI's most wanted list as well. Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty cool though, because
hitting them.
Yeah, we were going out and getting them.
Like just literally going out and capturing people.
Yeah, boogeyman. Yep. Yep.
That's great. That's the stuff you see in the movies, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the gnarliest shit.
Yeah. The first big hit I did, it's my first time in a combat zone too. I was the point man for a 60-man mission, and we were going to one of the top Ba'ath Party members' homes. We found out where his home was, and I was the point man. So I was the first man into the compound, into the home, and into every room. It's like Russian roulette. I mean, you can open that door and there could be a bullet hitting you in the face.
Suicide bomber.
Yeah, and the guy behind you holds your flak jacket by the handle. So in case you get hit, he can hold you as a human target, like a human shield. Yeah. And so he's looped in, and I go in, and I'm so amped up that I found the guy and I tackled him to the ground. The guy behind me, or the next fire team behind us, is holding him down until we take the rest of the house. And I come back around, and I'm like, I've got zip ties. I pull them out, and I flexi cuff him. But I did it so tight because I was so amped up that they had to carefully cut it off because the veins here, it was like literally his hands were turning purple. I didn't do it intentionally, but I was just amped up. You know, 20-year-old kid from Florida is now going after a total scumbag in the Middle East. And but it was pretty wild. It was a cool, it kind of set the tone for the rest of my deployment.
Were you guys mainly taking people alive? Like, was that the objective, like to get people captured alive so you could like interrogate them or talk to them and get intel?
So when it comes to Ba'ath Party members, yes, but then there were other targets that wanted dead or alive.
Okay.
I mean, that said, you don't really, I mean, I know there's a lot of guys from my era that would disagree, but you don't really want to go into a place and escalate force. I mean, you want to dominate that situation. You definitely want to bring it up 20 times higher than anything else that can be thrown at you. But when you start shooting, it takes it to a whole other level. And my objective, and I think I speak for all veterans, my objective is to bring my guys home alive, and shooting, being the first to fire is not the way to do that. Now, if you're fired upon, then you let hell rain down. Absolutely. But no, I mean, I only fired when, firefights were kicking off. I wasn't going in and just taking somebody down. Yeah. That's unarmed or anything like that.
What was like the level of threat with the IEDs, being out there, living out there and going on missions and whatever it may be? Like, how much of a threat were the IEDs?
It was, the whole area was infested with IEDs. So,
and for people who, I mean, people know the term IED, they have a general sense of what an IED is, but can you give us like a technical breakdown of what an IED literally is? So
it's an improvised explosive device, and it can be planted. It can be planted anywhere. It can be planted under a road, next to a road. They can detonate it with pressure plates. They can call it with a cell phone, tripwires even. Most of the ones that we were dealing with were either cell phones or pressure plates. We did have some landmines that we had some brilliant brass officers that decided they were going to send us on foot to go look for landmines. And I'm like, that's when I almost lost my shit. Like, I had a staff sergeant pull me aside and he's like, hey, you need to cut it out and do what you're told. But so I did. But yeah, that's when I'm sitting here like, this is just stupid. I'm on foot. It's nighttime, and my mission is to go find landmines. What in the hell is going on? Like, how the hell am I supposed to see a landmine at night, period? And you know what I mean? There's units for that. Anyways, long story short, yeah, it was infested. And the problem was there was no presence at night in the area. So we had to implement curfews. And then if you're out after curfew, there could be problems for you. Like, I'm going to take you down. If there could be a firefight, but I'm going to detain you and take you in.
Like anybody
that's out after dark, you're going in.
Really?
Because they're planting bombs everywhere. So we had to dominate the night, own the night.
So the people that could possibly plant the IEDs at the landmines, they're only doing that at night?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what did you ask anybody? Like, how far did you take it when they told you guys to go out on foot and look for the landmines? Like, did you ask questions?
Yeah, so we had a staff sergeant out there with us who outranked me, but he was just there to authorize air support if we needed it. So he wasn't in charge of that mission. I said, say what you want, but we're almost done with this deployment and I'm taking all my guys back. So we are not going to go and do that. We are going to go and do a presence patrol in the neighborhood, make sure that nobody's getting, bullied by insurgents, by Al-Qaeda, and we'll mess around over there. But I'm not doing that, and none of my guys are.